be more aggressive without paying a political price right now, at least?
Alex, the opposition that Democrats have used against Donald Trump pretty much since 2015 and 16 ultimately has not worked. It cannot be the sky is falling every day. In part, Democrats need to get out of the way, let Trump and his team make their own mistakes, and let the American people see exactly what is happening. This issue of the town halls, I think, is important. And look, Republicans should have town halls, and they should show up, and they should listen to people. That is the job of a member of Congress. Sometimes it's pleasant, sometimes it's not. We've seen both parties go through tough town halls. Democrats, when Obamacare was not popular at the beginning, had some very difficult town halls. Republicans have also had tough town halls over the years. It's okay. You got to do it. I understand Republican leadership doesn't want to expose their members or overexpose their members. But again, that's what representative government is all about, meeting with people, listening to them, and understanding why they're frustrated and worried about the way a lot of things are being done these days.
Yeah. I want to pivot to this and start with you, Carlos, because Representative Melanie Stansbury, who is on the DOJ subcommittee, well, she told me yesterday that even Republicans are not happy with Elon Musk and DOJ. Republicans, again, but they're too afraid to speak up. Here's a little more of what she said.
Musk did his own tour across Capitol Hill last week, but guess what? He didn't meet with any Democrats and he didn't appear publicly. And this is my point. You know, he keeps talking about being so transparent. If you go onto his wall of receipts, it's like a B-grade Twitter in which they're posting just random tweets. This is not transparency. And it's very clear that they plan to continue to dismantle the government behind closed doors. And I do not expect him to appear in front of the American people because thus far, he has not.
So, Carlos, because Republicans in Congress have not pushed for transparency, can DOJ keep making broad claims of finding waste without the evidence?
It'll be very difficult. And at the end of the day, Alex, it's obvious at this point that Elon Musk and this whole effort is causing a lot of headaches for Donald Trump. We read the reports of that contentious cabinet meeting with Secretary Rubio and Secretary Duffy pushing back against Musk. And we know that a lot of members of Congress are frustrated. Why? Because what we talked about earlier, they're going to town halls, they're hearing from constituents, they are talking to some of these federal workers that have been indiscriminately fired. And once these stories become human, everything changes. When we're talking about just firing bureaucrats, that's one thing. But when we meet these individuals, when we come to understand what they were working on, when we come to understand that maybe there wasn't a good reason to let them go, then the narrative changes. And it's not only these cabinet secretaries that have pushed back on the White House. There are a lot of Republicans, quietly for now, calling the White House and saying this is too much, this is inappropriate, and eventually it has to change. So Elon Musk is causing his boss a lot of headaches right now. We'll see how long this is tenable.
Do you think, Shaniqua, it would help Republicans if they just said, come on down to the Hill and let's have you testify, Elon?
I don't think it would help them.